Good evening, fellow Americans. My name is George A. Wilson, and I am your Democratic presidential candidate, write-in candidate. I want to wish everybody a good night. I hope everybody had a wonderful day. I hope everybody's doing all things as the United States, all 48 states, last I heard, are in the process of reopening in some mannerism that you continue to practice hand washing, hand sanitizing, wearing your mask when you're around a lot of people, and social distancing. That is very, very important. And for those of you that have young children, make sure if they go out with you, make sure that every last one of them, if you have more than one child, make sure they are wearing a mask. Now, how true it is with these new numbers that they got out about children that have some type of illnesses that leads directly to Corona-19. I don't know. I'm listening to the experts. I guess many of you are probably doing the same, listening to the experts on the news and kind of getting a feel for what is true and what is not true, and how much truth they're putting out there and what they are spinning, and listening for repetitious reports. You can start in the first hour one thing, and in the second hour you come back and repeat what you said in the first segment, but the same thing, but with a different spin on it, in a way that looks like it's a different aspect of what you said from the beginning. So I hope we are looking at that in that mannerism. So you stay informed, but also not be deceived or fooled at the same time. Being careful if some of us do decide to venture out, being careful and prudent and not reckless and not dangerously haphazard, but always protecting yourself so you can protect your family and protect those around you as you venture out of your four walls of your homes. I certainly get it. I know people want to get out. I certainly get it that people want to go back to work. But make sure it's safe to do those things. I know we all want to do it. I know we feel like we're trapped. And I know a lot of people want to get back to work. They want to get back to some type of normalcy. And, it's not ever going to go to the real norm that we used to have. So no matter how this blows over or when it blows over, it will always be a new norm. I heard that they said that this thing's going to be with us. I heard 2 years now. I heard in another segment that this thing is supposed to be with us for a long time. One newscaster said they didn't know how long, and the other would say like forever, give or take from to now to the end of time. Coronavirus, Corona-19 or COVID-19 will always be a part of our new norm, at least from what I'm hearing. How true that is, I cannot say. I'm just like anyone else, a U.S. citizen, watching the news and picking out lies or picking out truth and propaganda and spins. With my administration, like I said earlier on, I would never lie to anyone. It's about absolute truth. Every American will know the truth. Whatever happens in that White House, if it's newsworthy, you will always get the absolute truth. Will not be no spins, no lies, no agendas, no secrets, other than that of security. The American people will know the truth. Now, if the news media do not want to put out the truth, then it will come down. If it comes down to it, then I'll give you the truth. And I know some people look at me and say, well, U.S. presidents are not supposed to do that. Well, I will. One, for the simple fact, it's always been about the government and how to get more money and how to get richer and how to find ways to tax, to raise taxes, make it look good on this hand, but hit you with this one. You know, it's just always something with the government. In my administration, everything that's going on, you will know about. What we're doing, what the government's trying to do, what the government is now doing in behalf of the American people, where your money is going. How is your money being used? Is it going back into the economy? All of these things that will set the record straight, that Americans will know 100% of the time what is going on in their government. We have a lot of issues, a lot of problems, and a lot of different things that's going on in this world today, and we don't need to know, and we don't need to be lied to. We've been lied to too many times. And it seems like every administration lies. Every administration has secrets. Every administration works dark behind the scenes. And the American people are being had by the very people they elect to fill these seats. Whether it be the White House, the Vice President, the Senate, or the House as a whole. We as Americans elect these officials to go to Washington to work for their constituents of their states as a whole in the United States. And when you see that all these things that people have been promised, especially, and I'm going to pick on Democrats because I am running on a Democratic ticket, and I certainly appreciate those comments. Some of them were a little, okay, they were a little off, but okay. But you have to listen to both sides. And I learned to listen even if someone they fully don't understand, or they have their opinions. And you can't get mad at people with their opinions. However, just like anybody else, and especially those here in the Valley, North Valley, and in the Valley, San Joaquin Valley, and that of the Southern Valley, and those of us that live on the Valley Poor, which Tulare County and those surrounding counties around us. Okay, everything that affects, from taxes to farmers to produce to health care to water conservation, all these things affect those of us that lives in the valley, especially the farmers. And so a lot of the promises that were made by several ones that went into Congress stating that they will look out for whomever, whether it be the farmers, whether it be the businessmen, small businesses or whatever, they got to Washington, D.C. and did very little to nothing. So they lied to their constituents and they strung them along. And they hurt people. Now, I've come to find out a few things. One, Republicans are not very, very hot with continuing to support Donald Trump. But the Republicans don't like Democrats. And I gotta admit, there's some shady crap going on, shady stuff going on in the Democratic Party. Well, and the same thing with the Republicans. Okay, so you have, let's say, evil, if you will, on both sides. So you're always going to have that seemingly tug of war of one trying to outdo the other. And that shouldn't be, by the way, but it is. It's what it is, right? But who suffers? The American people. Because the president is dividing the country, the government is divided, and we are the children, seemingly, if you will, are the ones caught in the middle. And we're the one paying the price for their indecisiveness or their procrastination or their just do nothingness attitude that just don't do anything. And they forget where they came from. And they forget the poor people they left behind. Over this administration, my administration, no one, and I mean no one, will ever be left behind on any given issue. Now, there are issues that we need to get back to work on. This coronavirus has taken up so much time and so much space and so much news and so much energy that no one in the House and the Senate in the White House is doing their job to do whatever it needs to do for the American people. And everybody's concerned about the coronavirus. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not downplaying it, not in the slightest. Yes, it's out there. Yes, it is dangerous. Yes, it could hospitalize you, and then, yes, it can kill you. Too many cases to prove the fact. Prove the same. But not to stay on the coronavirus issue right now, because I have my doubts about a lot of different things. Just different information and research and homework. So I do have my doubts on the numbers. I don't think the numbers are adding up the way what they claim it to be. I don't believe those numbers are soaring as fast as they're saying it is. Now, I could be wrong, and I'm not. Please do not take my word verbatim if I said that I don't believe. That's my opinion. Okay? Now, I'm not saying the numbers are not rising. I'm just saying I don't think they're jumping as fast as they would like us to believe it is. Okay? That's just my spill on it. Okay? But I do believe there's something going on there. And I believe something more sinister is happening. Okay? And, you got to remember, you got the economist, and you got the globalists. Okay? Working together with all these top officials, whether it be Fauci, Sanchi, the CDC, the WHO, the HHN, or all these different contractors are in cahoots somehow with the globalist. Well, number one globalist is Bill Gates. And we already dissected him that he's not a doctor, scientist, biologist, chemist, epidemiologist. He's nothing of the sort. But he has a lot of input on vaccines and on the virus. How so? Something they knew. Something they all knew about. It cleaned up to George Bush time. George H. Bush time. When he mentioned the first time I ever heard mention New World Order. Donald Trump gave a hint of it. George Bush spoke of it. George W. Bush came back again and said it. Okay, so along the lines They all are in this one massive group with the elites, of course, and the brotherhood and secret societies. Let's put it out there. I told you I would tell you the honest truth. I'm not hiding behind anything. And I'm not speculating. This is not conspiracy theories. Okay, this is all bottom line truth. Do the homework. Do the homework, and it will surprise you with some of the stuff that you'll see. And it would be like, whoa. Like, really? Really? Okay, so let's get past that. Okay? So I just wanted to let you know the elitists have an agenda. It's called depopulation. Okay? And it's working. They're pushing their agendas. Now, of course, if you use the word corona, which is 6 letters, and then you add up what each letter comes up 66. Well, 666. What that say to you? Okay, that's always the elitist number, the number of man, according to Revelation chapter 13. Again, we're living in a time of the end, and the elitists know this. And those that behind the scene know this. And they know they got a short period of time. And so they're pushing their agenda. The problem is America's waking up. America's the same, wait a minute, it's not as bad as you make it seem. And some people are even taking it for granted because they're allowing certain things. If it was as bad as that, why we didn't do like other countries, shut completely down and just open up at one time when everything is calm? Leads to a question. Question mark. Very interesting. Okay? Even if you don't understand it or you don't see it, know there's powers behind the scene doing some really crafty stuff. And all of these people are in on it. Mitch McConnell is in on it. Pelosi is in on it. This is not a surprise to either group. The Republicans in on it, so are the Democrats. Okay? So, what is it they're not really telling us? And why are they playing it us? Interesting. If you do the numbers, again, with COVID-19, which 19 is the letters, but if you do the numbers correctly, it comes out to 3/15/22. So what are they planning in the year 2022? What number did President Trump use? We got 15 people. 15 people have the disease, and it will soon go away to 0. When did he say that? In March. How ironic is that? Were they trying to give us a mixed message or coded message that we didn't pick up? So what are they really doing behind the COVID-19? That's yet to be seen. Okay. It's called start thinking. It's called knowledge is power. Start doing your homework. Start looking stuff up. Start paying attention. Because if you do the rest of the work, you come to find out, it mentions something about a Patriot missile. Interesting. Okay, this is not just me making stuff up. Do the math. Follow the math and the letters and the numbers and put it all together. You should get exactly the same thing I got. If you wish me to write it down and put it on my Facebook page so you all can see, I'll do that too. Just to see what I'm talking about. But let's look at things that we're not looking at right now. We still have gun violence. On top of that list is racism. There's a big story out about this young man that got killed in Georgia. And you got two guys that, from what I've seen on the tape, as everybody's seen on the tape, appear to run this cat down. And they hunt him. And they shot him like a dog. They left him laying on the street. Okay, this has sparked racism and debates and all kinds of mixed feelings around the world, especially in the United States and other neighboring countries. It also sparked a lot of strings of also police brutality and violence when they're throwing people on the ground because they don't have masks. And it's happened in several states, other states. Okay, this is getting out of hand. One of the things that we don't want to do, America, and I'm pleading with America right now because I don't want to see this happen to American citizens. I know we're in a political year. Oh, excuse me. We're in a political year. And a lot is happening in a political year. And racism is on top of the list. Police brutality is second on the list. Gun violence is third on the list. And the list goes on and on and on. And people are losing their children or young people to these types of violences, this type of outburst of racism. You also have these type of things against the Asian population because of everybody blaming China. Well, they may have a right to because it's where it came from, but still. Chinese Americans are American people. They live and reside here for years and they do business here. Doesn't make them the people who designed this thing. Just because they came from that country don't make them a bad people. So I wish we would stop targeting Chinese folks. Please. They're American just like you and I. They live here just like you and me. If we were busy thinking about other things that we need to be thinking about, global warming, greenhouse effect, economy, labor, getting people back to work that have been on furlough or fired, safely, by the way, the minimum wage, taxes, lowering taxes for the low income. Stop saying you're going to cut the rich companies and never do, and they wind up getting raises. No. And bonuses, no sir, they had enough. It's time to look at these other issues that we have. Okay? Abortion, all these other things that is happening in the United States. Paying attention to what's going on outside the United States. Like this this Iranian thing is boiling now. They're waiting on a precise moment to attack us. This newfound thing that's attacking our children now. It's all a scare tactic to mess with your mind to make us get so scared and run back in our homes and cover up. Now, I'm not saying don't take this stuff serious. I'm saying take it very seriously. However, don't fall under the deception of it. Because, like I said earlier, they're all together. They know what they're doing. They're giving you enough truth to help keep it a bigger lie. To deceive you. Deceive us, if they can. When this administration, my administration, it will not happen. None of this will happen. A lot of reading out process will take place. We're going to look into something else about terms. Limited terms. I think a lot of the senators and a lot of the House representatives are being in office entirely too long. I believe the terms should be cut down some. If you're reelected, that's one thing. But sitting on the seat for up to 16 plus years or 30-something years in Congress, that means you got a bunch of chiefs, but no Indians. Everybody's a chief. There's no Indians. And when you get someone there that's innovative, that's motivated, and creative, and have some way to move us into the next frontier of our lives, to boost the United States in a way we have never seen it boost before. Some of the most brilliant and powerful minds, because of these old heads in office, they're stifling these young people from rising. I think we should look into that too. Term limitations. How long you can actually be there. I believe if you do your 2 years or whatever, I think the current one is 2 and 6 years. Once you get to 6 years and you do your 2 years, if you're reelected by your peers, that's what it is, not even American people, it's your peers. And they reelect you and you want to be filling the seats the one that you should be vacating. After you do this next set of years or term, I think if you have a 6-year term and you get reelected, you only allowed 4 more. If you got a 2-year term and you're reelected, do the 2 years. And I think after which, vacate the seat for someone else to take it. Give someone else a chance. You had yours. Whether you did something with it or not, that's beside the point. I believe that everybody had the right under the Constitution to go out and run for office if they choose to do so, for their state, for their community. And I don't believe they should be stifled by popularity. The problem is people want you got to be popular for somebody want to even give you a second look. People got to, well, who do you know? Someone asked me a dumb question. Did Hillary Clinton hire me to run? I thought that was funny. I thought it was quite hilarious. I'm like, no. I was like, really? Hillary Clinton don't even know me. I live in the valley. She ain't coming here. We ain't rich enough for her. Really? Let alone choosing somebody to run? Come on, dude. Be for real. I thought it was kind of funny, though. I was like, really? Well, that kind of made me feel kind of good. You even thought I was even in the class to even be in such class as Hillary Clinton that she would even think about endorsing poor little me from Lindsay, California, to even run a Democratic national election. Ooh, I'm so honored. Really? Come on. That's what makes it hard for everybody else that's trying to, that wants to, but they're afraid because they get out and try to run. People are going to call them wannabes, and people are not going to look at them and take them serious, and not going to view them as public figures. Why? Why not? Because they're not rubbing arms with the right people? Because they're not rich? They're not fortunate to be part of the Forbes 500 family? Because they're not driving around in great Maseratis and all kind of expensive vehicles, and they live in apartment complex or projects, trying to do better, help their community, help their neighbors, neighborhood, help the state. Maybe they see something that these other politicians missed. Maybe they see a way that we can turn this thing around. But if people criticize and mock them and point fingers and try to find something wrong with the idea that they're even running, how can they ever have a chance? This world is full of dream killers. And they're killing young people or people my age that decided to run for elected office to make things change or different. Change government somehow. Turn things around. That earnestly mean what they say. And they're just real people, real citizens that had enough of the present government, present administration. Where is that so wrong? Why is that so funny? Is it because they may be Latino? Afro-American? Where does it say in the Constitution you have to be rich to run for office? Well, does it say in the Constitution that you have to know some very influential people to get elected? What does it say that you have to bend over backwards or bend over, if you know what I mean by that remark, to be liked by people? Nowhere. Not even written. So people prejudge you too soon, especially when they're not trying to get to know you. They already fixed on one candidate, no matter how bad, whether it's Democrat or Republicans, no matter how bad that commander-in-chief or president is, no matter how bad, how he treats people and women, especially of color, other race, how rude he is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that he's trying to reopen the country again to a virus that has not been quarantined, not enough testing, no vaccine in sight, but you're turning people loose into a pandemic that kills. But you still have Trumpers that will continue to be loyal to him, even if he's killing their mothers, their fathers, their uncles, their aunties, their grandmamas, their granddaddies, their sisters, or their brothers, in the namesake of money and his political career. I'm sorry. If this is where you think, and if this is where you feel, and I really don't need your vote. I need people that are going to vote for what's real and what's true and what's honest. That's going to say, I have confidence or trust in this candidate that he will get us to the next level, that he can get in here and work hard with the American people and try to turn this thing around. Jump out in front of this thing. Not continue to watch him running rampant, but do something. do whatever is deemed necessary to try to save the lives of American people. But at the same time, still having government operational for the other issues that still faces us today. Many things still face us. I mentioned a few. Infrastructure is another. Homelessness is another. Drugs on war. Drugs on not drugs on trafficking. The war on trafficking. Human trafficking. Child labor. Child trafficking. Child porn. Porn itself. We have a whole lot of issues to address in the United States. I know we need to keep an eye on this coronavirus. I know we need to be safe. And I know we need to do what we can to get back to some things. But I don't believe it should take the price of Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid for those of us that cannot afford it. I don't believe that this vendetta that Donald Trump has with Obama, former President Barack Obama, to dismantle everything that man done, including Obamacare, trying to destroy everything that he has done for the American people. Now, don't get me wrong. There are probably some things he did that was, someone would raise an eyebrow about, like, really. But I'm not saying no one is perfect. I'm not perfect. But to fight for our alienated rights, that under the law and under the Constitution, that's what I'm going to do. Fight for health care, affordable health care, pre-assisted illness health care, affordably, low to no copay. I'm going to fight for that. That you don't ever have to worry about your retirement. Yes, we're in a mess. Economy is, excuse my language, because a lot of people don't talk like this. Yes, economy sucks. Real bad. We're in a Great Depression again. But it can turn around. We, as American citizens and as leaders, can turn it around if we choose to do so. You got to fight and not give up. So, President Trump, you got a fight on your hand. American people, say what you want to say about me or anybody else that's running for public office that you don't know. Before you judge me, know me. Martin Luther King said, don't judge. You don't want people to judge his children by the color of their skin, but by their character. The contents of their character. I want my white brothers to know I love you. But don't judge me because of the color of my skin, but judge me according to the contents of my character. If that's what you want to judge me on my character. Not because you have a preconceived notion. Not because I don't fit a certain criteria for you. Not because I'm not rubbing elbows with the hobnobs. Or the haves, should I say. Not because you don't believe that I could defeat Donald Trump. You don't know what I can do. You don't even know me. I would love if you did get to know me. I want you to get to know me. Because this way I earn your trust if you know me. Now, there are some blinded folks, especially that of my white brothers, that don't care to get to know me. They don't want to know me. They don't want to know about what I can do in politics. They don't want to hear about God and government. They don't want to know me. Some people are just stuck where they are because that's the way they feel. That nothing can ever get better. That nothing can ever change. And if this is your mindset, okay, I ain't mad at you. I think you need to get another mindset, but okay, I ain't mad at you. But don't stifle everybody else. Don't badmouth a candidate if you don't know the candidate. You don't know his lifestyle. You don't know what he's about. You don't know who he is. Get to know him before you start throwing stones. The man brought the woman to Jesus, threw her down before him, and said, caught her in the very act. Trying to get Jesus to judge her. And they picked up stones. Well, Jesus said, he without sin throw the first stone. And everyone that was there could not throw the first stone because they were guilty of something. But if you think about this, how you want to catch this woman in the very act, unless you were looking at her window. You saw her with a guy that she wasn't married to. Back then, adultery was like, whoa, unheard of. No. They didn't care if this woman was in adultery. They didn't care who she was with. They was trying out Jesus to make him do something to judge this woman unfairly. So they could find something wrong against him so they could crucify him. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. When you judge someone unfairly and saying, oh, this person did this and he did that, or whatever you want to call it, and ready to throw the first stone at someone that's just not the type of candidate you're supposed to be looking for. And you never know, they might be better than the candidate you're looking for. But throw stones at them and say horrible things and post pictures. Someone got their head up there, but you should have turned that on with Donald Trump. But anyway, moving right along. You don't know me like that to do that. But that's all right. That's all right. I still love you, my brother. I know everybody have their opinion, and that's fine with me. But I'm about the business of the day. It's time to get America back on track. Yes, pay attention to coronavirus. Figure out a way how to get ahead of it. Stop it. In its tracks. Tracking. Making sure we know where these people have been. Who they've been around. Quarantine them. Find out who they've been around. If they've been around anybody. I believe you could do this without invading one's privacy. You have to know what people have been doing and who they've been with in order to find a way to slow this thing down. Now, until we get a real vaccine for this virus, because I'm not trusting anybody to come up with a pop vaccine because you don't know where it came from. Has it passed trials? It takes time and time again, trial after trial after trial, before it even goes to clinical trial. And then it takes mounds and mounds of study and different subjects to come up with a conclusive answer that this vaccine will or will not work. You're just not going to make a mandate that everybody takes a vaccine shot or influenza shot, whatever that is they mention. Make it mandatory. It's not right, it's not fair, and it's probably inhumane. We don't know where it came from. And I don't think American people should have to be bound by a government, namely Donald Trump, pushing that we take vaccine shots if we don't want them. It's just like taking a flu shot. It's up to you to take a flu shot. They can't make you take a flu shot. They can't make you take an influenza shot or a vaccine shot, especially if you show no signs of this virus. Who's to say if you take the shot, you come down with something? It just don't make any sense to me. Now, if you choose by your own choice to take the shot and not being mandated to do so, certainly up to you. Just stay away from me after you take the shot. Serious. You know what I'm saying? Because if it takes up to 18 months to a year to 2 years before you could get a real vaccine that's been through all the trials, that's been all through the clinical trials and approved by the FDA and the CDC, and it's lot number and got a number on it stating that it's been approved, then it should be readily available for anybody who has this disease or those that are, if you will, that show signs of this disease to take the shot if they so choose, not mandate. Why would you make that mandatory? For what? How are you going to make it mandatory for somebody to take some shots that you're not even making mandatory, but testing of every American citizen in the United States? So you don't really know who got it, right? No. So, I don't know. They're talking about it in a couple of months. We'll see. But I'm going to be fighting hard against it. And my videos will be out there. And my voice will be out there starting next month. And you're going to hear my voice and my opinions about government and how to run an effective government. See, we're too busy with this coronavirus thing. That's what they want you to do. They want to keep us busy, keep our minds on this thing. Government, you see that government is not doing anything. They're not doing their jobs. Everybody's on about site vacation because of coronavirus. But what are you doing when you're not at the White House, in the government office on Capitol Hill? What are you doing? Are you helping anyway to find ways to help America when you come back to session? Or you're coming back to session with the idea of figuring out a way how to dethrone the Republicans or the Republicans dethrone the Democrats? Folks, running an effective government is not allowing one thing to stop America from thriving. We had the H1N1, and America didn't shut down. We had the Ebola virus, and America did not shut down, and it killed thousands to millions. But America did not shut down. Spanish flu, all types of flus and viruses that this country has went through, and not once shut America down or changed the course of America. Why is it coronavirus shows up, COVID-19, and everybody gets, and they shut America down. Destroy the economy. Nearly. Keep people hostage, technically. Sub-hostage. That's what it was. So crime rates could go up inside of your home and not on the streets. See, all kinds of ways to depopulate America could happen in any form. Folks are being cramped up too long, start arguing and fighting. Next thing you know, somebody messed around and killed somebody. Suicides are what I heard. The numbers are up. This isn't how to run a country, President Trump. This isn't the way to win popularity, to be popular with American people. Even some of your own people are jumping ship. They say you're crazy. This isn't the way to do this. If you don't know something, ask somebody. Get their correct information and then report it. Don't speculate. Don't guess. Just be honest, say, I don't know. But we found out. Don't lie to the American people. Because we're not as dumb as you elitists and globalists and epidemics, if you want to call that word, think we are. We've been around a long time. And we've seen a lot of things. And we're tired of being fooled and being lied to. So I could sympathize with people that come at me cross about Democrats. Because we're supposed to be for the lower class people of color, people that can't speak for themselves. People with voices, people without voices. We're supposed to be the leaders that say, I'm going to take your voice and your concerns to the highest court in the land, to Congress, to the Senate, Supreme Court if it has to be. The President of the United States will hear our concerns. That's what we're supposed to be doing. And every Democratic candidate, including Barack Obama, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking him at all, has somewhere along the line dropped the ball and lied to the American people. So I can't blame people that see people that's running on a Democratic ticket and saying how you're any better than anybody else. I can't blame them because I hear the concerns. And I hear and see everything that's going on. One of the things I want the American people to know, I would never have dreamed in my life to even run for a public office, let alone the White House. Politics just wasn't my thing. Something I wanted to do. But when I see what the government is doing to our veterans, to our elderly, to our sick, to our young, to all the students that are going to college and have to pay these balloon payments that they could never be the lawyers and the doctors and the practitioners and whatever scientists or biologists, surgeons they went to school for because of their payments. So they got to work mediocrity jobs until they could pay the loan down enough or to pay the loan off before they can even begin to venture into the neighborhood or into the profession in which they went to school for. It's too much. And I don't believe that American people, especially our students, high school, college, should have to worry about a big debt after schooling. Something Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders was pushing. I believe some of the other candidates were mentioning that too, of free college, free university, free 4 years. Some said 2, others said 4. Other countries are letting their people, young people going to colleges and universities for free. We're the most powerful nation in the world, the most rich, closely the world's richest nation in the world, and we cannot look out for our young people. We want to stifle their dreams. But under this administration, No. I'm going to say, dream, baby, dream. Dream that one day you'll make it to what you're trying to do. And if anything this administration can do to help you get there, we'll do it. And you won't have to worry about a big debt while you're in school. Or even when you get out of school. The government will pay for it. The only stipulation I got with that is, if we give you the opportunity to go to school, to get that education, to fulfill the dream of your life, the only stipulation I have with that is, if you drop out of school, and from whatever time you went to school to the time you drop out, then you would have to owe a debt to the government, a fraction of what it would have cost you normally to go to school. I think that's fair to everybody else that's going and actually becoming something. Just that you got to be fair about it. I believe in keeping it real, keeping it honest, and keeping it true. Game time is over. Poking fingers and calling names and dirty politics and mudslinging. Whatever floats your boat. But when it comes to this administration, we will never throw dirt in no one's face. I will never assassinate anyone's character unless the content of that character shows to be unmoral. No values. No. Nothing for the American people. Then, I'm sure your character be under scrutiny. And if you want to call it assassination, oh well. Integrity. If you don't have integrity, how you expect the American people to look at you and say, I trust you? I always said one thing: if you start one way with someone, they're going to expect you to keep it that way all the time. Don't switch up, because if you do, you'll confuse them. Always look at this as and this may seem a little weird for me to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's in government anyway, but I'm going to say what I'm saying. If you treat a wife as a common street whore, she could be a good woman. She'll do anything for you, but if you treat her like a common street whore, that's what she's going to become. A common street whore. And if you try to change her in the middle or a midstream back to being an honorable woman, she's not going to change. And your relationship will sever. That's honest to speak about the American people. Mr. President, you're trying to turn the American people into a common street whore. And I'm talking about men and women both, so it's not gender specific. It's got nothing to do with the LGBTQ. I'm talking about people in general. You're trying to turn us all into common street whores. Treating us any way you want to treat us. Walk over us, talk to us any kind of way. Disrespecting us. Have no sense of morals whatsoever. And you expect us to come out for you in November and vote for you? We're supposed to be like kind American people that believe in their leadership. But you done turned us into hoes. So how do you think we're going to act when it comes November? Now you might get some that might say, oh, I'll kiss his butt. That's up to them. Now I'm not calling anybody in the United States a hoe. Please, don't take me the wrong way. I'm making a point. I want you to see what a good man is and a bad man is. Now, you already got an example of a bad man. A good man is that he will love not only his government, those that work with him, he will love the American people like he loves himself, like he loves his wife, his sister, his mother, his brothers or his sister, his brothers or his uncles, his father, like he loves God. Because he would cherish each and every one, your thoughts, your opinions, your feelings, and your needs. He will always keep in mind when he has to make certain decisions for the American people. See, I already said once, I'm not just going into office to sit in a chair in a round table, oval-shaped table, barking out orders. I believe in being on the front lines. I believe in being on the ground with the American people. You hurt. I hurt. I hurt, the nation hurt. We are a people, meaning one, united. And we look out for each other. And we stand with each other through adversity, through stress, through happiness and joy, through sorrow and pain. We stick with one another. We don't fight. We try to understand. We don't yell. We discuss. Are we all going to agree on everything? No. Is there going to be mixed emotion and feelings? Of course. We're all human. Will you agree 100% with me all the time? Probably not. Will I agree with some of the things that Congress is doing and some people say? I'll be like, not all the time. I certainly will see the point. And I will say I'll give it some real consideration and try some way to try to rectify whatever or try to fix it in some mannerism. But if I can't, don't get mad with me. At least you know I tried. See, I want to be a president that you can say in your mind, that you know within your mind and in your heart, that did everything he could for the American people and never left one person behind. He didn't try to throw nothing on people. He didn't try to sit there and lie to us. He didn't try to give us these different cases of scenario. He always was dead on point about everything he did in that White House. And he thought about us first. He educated us to help ourselves. That's the kind of president That's the kind of president I am. And that's the kind of president I want you to have in your mind. That when it's all said and done, and if I leave the office in 4 years or 8 years, you can state within your heart, God gave us a good man. And he was about the American people. And he was about the hearts of the American people. And he cared about everyone. He didn't say, well, whatever. That he strived to do everything he could to help people to be better people. And he thrived in government to make them do their jobs. That everything that they needed to vote on doesn't go to appropriation, but they vote on those things that need to be done. Even if he had to override the veto, to put it in executive order, that it be done. Things that American people need. That we can stand up and be proud. Once again, united. And said, I'm proud to be an American. Stand for this country, for what it stands for. See, The Statue of Liberty in New York Harbor is a light for those that lost their way. Even though it was a gift from the French, and even though it was constructed by Freemasons, they may have had an agenda for the reason why he's out there. Whether it's a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. But it does show is a symbol of freedom. That anyone that's seeking asylum into a country, this country, can certainly come with open arms through our borders, the correct way, of course, with all paperwork and necessary stuff to come into the United States. And no one, Border Patrol, ICE, or any other Homeland Security, other entity under this administration will ever deport anyone back to their country after coming into the United States seeking asylum, unless that individual or individuals have come here to create a problem. But they came here because their country is a dictatorial country, or have a dictative ruler, and they come seeking asylum here. We will never turn anybody away. That's why we're America. That's why we stand strong. That's why we call the land of the free. Now some would kind of throw an eyebrow up and say, are we really free? I would even question that myself. Especially on this president administration, I would really think that. One of the main things I'm going to do, which might stir up something in government, is to overturn the Patriot Act. I believe people's privacy should be their privacy. I don't believe the government have any right to go searching into your privacy unless you're trying to get a job for the government in itself. I don't believe they need to know everything there is to know about you unless they have to find out about this COVID virus and for whom you've been with and who you were with. Your history has nothing to do with the government. Just finding out who you are and whom you've been around for your safety and theirs as well. I believe privacy is something very important to everyone. Now, I know there's government spies and I know there's stuff that they're doing. Not to say that I could straighten all this in 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. But certainly something I can look into and push and try to say, hey, no. How is it that you're spying on American people and you're supposed to be spying on those that's trying to attack Americans? You're so busy spying on the infrastructure that you're not spying on those that are out in other countries that are looking to take over the United States under this present administration. Now, some people say I'm reaching for unachievable goal. There's others that say that I'm spinning my wheels and that I'll never get there. And though I appreciate all comments and things people say, I don't let people dictate to me what I think, what I feel, and what I know is right. You may not believe in everything I'm saying. That's fine. I understand that. And I understand if you don't want to vote for me. That's fine there too. But don't not vote for me because I'm the wrong color. Don't not vote for me because you don't know me. Because every president that ever stood up on that podium, that stood there and gave their speech, you didn't know them either. You took a chance on them. People didn't know who Barack Obama was either. In 2008, I had no idea who he was. I heard his name and I was like, what? Really? Who is he? Didn't have no idea. I never heard of Barack Obama. 2006, I never heard of it. 2007, I never heard of it. All of a sudden, 2008, he pops on the scene. Of course, I'm going to say, who's he? But I never once said that the brother couldn't make it. I had my reserves, but I was sitting there, I'm going to watch him. I'm going to listen to him. I'm going to follow him. I'm going to see what he's about. See how he handles certain questions, how he reacts to certain things. And it was up to a few days before the election that I made up my mind that I would vote for Barack Obama for President of the United States. He convinced me that he's the person for the job. And I'm not easy convinced. If you don't show me nothing that you can do it, and then if I don't have faith in you to know that you can run this country, I'm just being honest. So I said, don't vote for me because, possibility, No. Vote for me because you have learned enough about me to trust me. And you have confidence that I could be your new leader and run this country the way it's supposed to. Now, I can give you some different things that I've done and, say, oh, well, this is what I've done, this is what I've been, where I've been. I can give you the whole spiel, but that's not necessary. People will find out anyway. But what I can do for this country is stand as an American and say that we all are Americans. And my fight is for Americans, American people. Not the government, not the big business, not the banks, not the corporations, not the rich elites, not for those that hungry, money hungry, trying to control everything. I'm not a puppet. I can't be bought. I can't be sold. I can't be fooled. I certainly can't be lied to. I'm not joining any secret organizations, and I don't want any secret organization to try to come and try to say, hey, I need you. No, this isn't my purpose. This isn't the reason why I'm running for government. My reason for running for government is I'm tired of the lies and the way the government has been treating the American people, stomping on their backs, holding their necks down, mistreating them, taking from them, basically stealing. Basically legalized stealing. At every turn. And it's time to make government accountable for their actions. Simple. I'm for the American people because I'm an American. And I know what you face every single day. I see it. I hear it. I feel it. I'm you. May not be related by blood or bloodline or family name, but we're related as brothers and sisters in Christ, as human beings. As you're my brother, you're my sister. And you gotta love people. I gotta love people, so I don't know about you, but I have to. And I do. Or I wouldn't be doing this at all if I didn't love people. That's why I'm in this. For the people. We have rights under the Constitution. The law should be the law and not abused. There's no one man should be above the law. That includes the President of the United States. If I break the law in some way, impeach me. I should have never did it. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, you're going to protect me, you're going to hide me, you're going to do. No, you're wrong, you're wrong. You need to be subject to the law like anybody else. The only thing different with the law that says you cannot indict or arrest a sitting president. Didn't say you couldn't do it after he was out of office, though. Make him pay for the crimes he committed. The lies he told, the perjury that he perjured while he was in court. Make him pay. Because you're not above the law. If that was the case, why do you have the Supreme Court? Why do you have law at all? So, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. And this is what I stand for. And it's always going to be about the American people. The mistreatment of women will not happen again. The groping and the mistreatment of public officials like vice presidents and others filling all over women when they don't want to be filled upon will stop. That's sexual harassment. I don't care who does it. The president, the vice president, care. It's sexual harassment. And every woman that's ever been sexually harassed by any public official need to speak up. And don't be afraid that you lose your job or be afraid of some retaliation from that official. Because that's not fair and it's not right under the law. And it won't happen in my administration. If I find out about it, if I even get a smell of this going on, and it's reported, and I get it, I hear his side, I hear your side. And if I find out to be true, that it was not mutual, and that he was pressing upon you, he is gone. And he will be persecuted by law. Bottom line, I'm not having this in my administration. I'm not having this. If you have a wife, deal with your wife. If you have a husband, deal with your husband. All this fraternizing and the crazy stuff that's going on Capitol Hill, no ma'am, no sir. All this stuff behind the scenes, we're going to stop that. Trust me. Because if you can't run a government with the truth behind the scenes as well as in public, then what good is the government if you got trash going on behind the scenes? No. There'll be a lot of weeding out. A lot of change of the guards when I get there. You ain't gotta like me. Care less. I'm standing for truth. I'm standing for righteousness. I'm standing for God. All this other stuff, it's not going to happen. Not under my administration. You work for me, you work honestly. You work morals, respect, integrity, honesty, and truth. Don't care what it is. Be truthful about it. And we'll work from there. You lie about it, deceive, that's rules for dismissal. And possibly, depending on what it is, charges. I expect the same thing toward me. If I did the same thing, then I expect the government to come at me. Not rumors, facts. Actual facts. My name is George Wilson, A. Wilson's Heart. And I am your Democratic writing candidate for President of the United States of America. And I wanted to give you some facts of what I'm about, what I stand for. And I stand for the American people. I can't change every lie that's ever been told to you. And my heart goes out for all the lies that they've told to you. I certainly understand your apprehension. Because they didn't just lie to you, they lied to me too. I can't change history, but I can move forward with a new light of a new day, with you knowing that your president will never lie to you, and those who work for me will never lie to you if they want to work for me and this White House. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful night. God bless America, and God bless the American people. Love you.